Hi students, welcome to Kairlai Online Mantra, which is an initiative from Kairlai College Nirmala, and myself Anil. And today we are going to discuss about a topic from your physics course, and I will be discussing about one simple topic and simple and small topic from the first chapter, effects of electric current, which is very important and relevant for your exams. So this is a topic what we are going to discuss for the next few minutes. Combination of resistance. So before going to combination of resistance, you should remember what is resistance. So resistance is actually, it's an electrical quantity which measures how an electric device reduces the current flow, electrical current flow through it. And this is the symbol of resistance. And the unit of resistance, I think you would have already studied. We call it as Ohm, and unit of resistance can be represented as like this. And then the question is, why do we need combination of resistance? Suppose we have some resistance values like 1 ohm, 2 ohm or 3 ohm, and we would like to get some other value, 3.4 ohm. We have to get this exact value 3.4 ohm. However, we don't have an exact single resistor with this particular value. So what we are going to do is we have to play with these particular values available, and we have to arrange these resistors in such a way that finally the equivalent resistance should be exactly 3.4 ohm. So in order to do that, we have to place our available resistors in a particular fashion. And of course, we have to play with little bit of mathematics also. So for combination of resistance, usually we have two combinations. One is series combination and other is parallel combination. So I have given two figures here, figure 1 and figure 2. And if you go through these figures, you can clearly see that in both the figures, we have exactly same number of resistance, Ra, Rb and Rc. Here also again Ra, Rb and Rc. Again, we have an voltage source in the first figure V, and in the second figure also we have the same voltage source V. Then what is the difference between these two figures? I told you already, in both the figures we have the same circuit elements, and the number of elements is also same. Here we have three resistors. Again, here we have one voltage source. In the second figure also we have 3 resistors and 1 voltage source. Then what is the difference between these two figures? So the difference lies in the topology. Topology in the sense how we are going to place these circuit elements in a particular circuit. Here in the first figure, so what we are going, we will see the circuits one by one. First we will see the figure 1. In the figure 1 you can see that there are 3 resistors Ra, Rb and Rc connected sequentially like this. You can see that these Ra, Rb and Rc are connected one after another, and it forms a single path like this. So if there is a current generated by this voltage source I, and this current will be passed through all these circuit, all these elements, and finally it will be come back to this voltage source itself, right? So if you want to measure the current through any of these elements, how do you measure the current? That's the first question. So for measuring the current, we have to have some current, current meter. That is called ammeter. So if you connect an ammeter between any of these terminals, you can see that current through all these elements will be equal. However, if you measure the voltage across any of these circuit elements, you can see that voltages will be different. Suppose we have VA across RA, VB across RB and VC across RC. So if you measure the voltage across these terminals, you can see that VA, VB, VC are different. VA not equal to VB not equal to VC. But current through all these elements will be equal. Okay. Now we move to the second circuit. Here the components are arranged in a different manner. It forms a multiple path. And here again we have an here again we have a current generated from this voltage source V, and this current will travel to this point, and at this point this current will current is get divided and distributed among these each branches, and finally at this point it recombines and finally it will come back to this voltage source itself. And this circuit we call it as parallel connection. The first one we call it as series connection, and this one we call it as parallel connection. Here I already told you at this point this current is divided among these branches. Suppose we have a current I here, and at this point this current is divided I1, I2, I3. And at this point, this is a common point, this point all these currents get recombined and it will come back to the same voltage source V. Here, if you measure the voltages across each resistors, you can see that this voltage across each terminal will be exactly equal to V. That means VA equal to VB equal to VC is equal to V. Here VA represent the voltage across RA, VB represent voltage across RB, and VC represent voltage across RC. So you have to remember this fundamental concept, that is in series connection or in series combination of resistance, current through the circuit will be always same or equal, but voltages across each component will be different. But in the parallel connection, current through each branch will be different, but voltages will be always equal. And if you measure the equivalent resistance, if the equivalent resistance seen from these terminals, in the series connection it will be equivalent resistance will be RA plus RB plus RC, and in the parallel connection R equivalent is equal to RA RB RC divided by RA RB plus RB RC plus RA RC. This I hope you would have already studied in the chapter. And if you know these fundamental concepts, I think almost all the problem you can solve. So now we move to a question from the topic, whatever we have studied from the combination of resistor. So this is a question: two tungsten bulb, 100 watt and 60 watt power work on 220 volt potential difference. If they are connected in parallel, how much current will flow in the main conductor? So first, if you go through the question, you can see that there are some information already provided here. Two tungsten bulbs, 100 watt and 60 watt. 100 watt and 60 watt means you have to remember what is the unit of power, that is watt. So we have power information here and again voltage information here. That is these bulbs work on 220 volt potential difference. Okay. And another important information you have to remember here, these bulbs connected in parallel combination. That means we have two bulbs. These bulbs are connected in parallel combination. That means it is connected like this. I hope you remember the parallel connection from we have discussed. So the first bulb has 100 watt power and the second bulb has 60 watt power. 60 watt power. And these bulbs are connected parallel, and there is an voltage source and its value is 220 volt. So as soon as you see this question, you have to remember all the characteristics of parallel connection. That is, in parallel connection, voltages across each terminals will be equal. That means this voltage VA and this voltage VB equal to VA is equal to VB is equal to 220 volt. And you know that this current through the parallel circuit will be always different and depends on the value of resistance. Here we have a current I is generated from this voltage source, and at this point, this current I is divided among these branches as I1 and I2. And again at this point, this current I1 and I2 recombines, and finally it will form as I. So we have I is equal to I1 plus I2. I is equal to I1 plus I2. So in our question, we are supposed to find out current flow in the main conductor. That means we need to find out the value of I. So in order to find out I, you would have learned already that Ohm's law. In Ohm's law, we can find out I as V by R. Right. But the problem is, in this problem, we don't have resistance information. We have only voltage and current information. We need to find out the value of I. But according to Ohm's law, we can find out I is equal to V by R. But the problem is, in this particular problem, we don't have the value of resistance. Then next we have to think of how to find out the value of I using whatever the information provided in the problem. But you can see that we have power information. We have power information and voltage information. We have to find out the value of I. Now you need to think in a different way. How do we express the value of I in terms of P and V? You know, or you would have studied already, power have different expression. P is equal to VI, P is equal to V square by R, P is equal to I square R. There are three expressions which relates the power and voltage, current, resistance, etc. But in this particular problem, we don't have resistance information, so we cannot use these two equations. And finally, we can use an equation P is equal to VI. Right. In this equation, we have power, voltage, and current. We have to find out the value of I using power and V. Here, VA and VB is equal to 220 volt. VA equal to VB is equal to 220 volt, which is a basic characteristics of parallel combination. That means voltages across two branches will be always equal, which is equal to the potential difference across this terminals 220 volt. So we can write this power value as P1 is equal to I1 into V. P2 is equal to I2 into V. P1 represent the power across or power delivered by this bulb, and P2 represent the power delivered by this one. Here we represent the potential difference across this terminal, that is 220 volt. So we can substitute the whatever available values of voltage and power in this equation. Here first P1 is equal to I1 into V. Here P1 is equal to 100 watt. Then I1 actually I1 and I2, here I is the main current which is derived from this voltage source, and at this point this current divided among these branches and it will be I1 and I2. So if you find out I1 and I2, you can find out the main current I. That's what our idea. So first we will find out I1 and then we will find out I2. So first we will look at this equation. P1 is equal to I1 into V, and we have to find out I1 into 220 volt. So I1 is equal to, we have to divide it 100 by 220 volt. Which is equal to 0.45 ampere. Ampere is the unit of current. Now we need to find out the value of I2, which is equal to P2 divided by V. P2 we already know. P2 means power value of second bulb, which is equal to 60 watt. So 60 by 220 equal to 0.27 amp. Now we have the value of I1 and I2, and we have already learned that I1 plus I2 is equal to I. I1 plus I2 is equal to I. So I is equal to 0.45 plus 0.27, which is equal to 0.72 ampere. So we stop here, topic combination of resistance here. Hope you have enjoyed this video, this class. And if you need any further clarification from this topic, you can drop an email to our official email ID, or you can send a WhatsApp message also. There are many other important topics which are included in your textbook. So for the upcoming videos, you can subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you. Keep learning, keep distance.